Hello, hello, Aldwyn, Altuney Media Queen here. I am with the lifestyle entrepreneur, Jakobi, who is doing a Bounce Back to Freedom tour over the next 3 months, up until October 25. Can you explain a bit about the Bounce Back to Freedom tour, please, Hans?
Sure, Aldwyn. I've heard a lot of news recently about Cyrus the virus and how people are stressing and the distress that's been caused and the fear about this crisis. And I wanted to inject a bit of positivity and teach people some strategies as to what they could do to change their life, to change their future, to actually not see this as a bad thing, but as an opportunity to change their life and rewrite their future. So, yeah, we've all had crises. I've had lots of them. I know what to do. And I just want to encourage people to not give up. I want to encourage them to rewrite their future and decide on what they want to do for the future.
Fantastic. And what are some tips you can give people on how to bounce back to freedom after COVID-19?
Okay, 3 very, very important tips. The first thing is to know exactly what it is that you want. Now, a lot of people have difficulty with that. They know all the things they don't want, but they're not quite clear on what it is that they want. So if you're in that situation, just take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, put down all the things you don't want on the other side, and then come back to the blank side and work out all the opposites and all the things that you want. And then think about those carefully. Is that really what you want? Think about where you would like to live, what sort of relationships are important to you. Think about if you don't have a relationship with somebody, if you'd like to attract somebody into your life, what are the qualities? What are the characteristics of that person that you would like to attract into your life? They don't have to have blonde hair and blue eyes, or tall, dark, and handsome. What is more important is the qualities of those people. And think about your goals as far as health, fitness, your spiritual connection, all of those things, and decide on what it is. If you had a magic wand, what is the ideal life that you would like? That's the first point. The second point is decide why you really want to pursue that. Now, I don't mean if you just want to earn some extra money. I know all of us want to earn some extra money. That's fine. But I want you to think about something really deep at an emotional level, something that really tears at you, that makes you cry when you think about it. For example, Mal was in a situation in 2015 where he couldn't buy his children Christmas presents. And he said, look, something has to change. I can't keep doing the same thing and expecting the same result, or a different result. So therefore, what I've got to do is do something differently. And he decided he'd go out and build a business of his own. Tracy had an inheritance recently. Her mother passed away about 6 months ago. Now, that was very, very gut-wrenching when that happened. But, every time she remembers her mother, she also remembers the legacy that she's got from her mother, and she wants to pass that on to her boys. And so therefore she wants to do something really important. And so that makes her cry when she thinks about it. And Aldwyn, we actually talked about your parents today.
Yes.
And I noticed that you teared up when we talked about that. Yes. So they're the sort of things that are really important, why you want to do something. Now, I'm doing something for my grandchildren, for example. And so all of us have different reasons. There's nothing right or wrong about your choice, just what's personal to you, what's important to you. And the third very important tip to bounce back to freedom is this: who do you need to become in order to have what it is that you want? And that's a very, very important thing. And, a lot of people don't recognize that their personal development is huge. And if I can give you an example from my own life, I graduated uni with a Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Accounting, and I thought, okay, you know everything. And the only other thing I wanted to do was to do my Chartered Accounting qualification. I did that, and then I thought, I was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I thought I didn't have to learn anymore. I face planted myself into a pile of dung a few times after that, and then I got the message: that really I needed to change who I was. And I went to personal development courses and I changed. And my life changed as a result. And so if you're in that situation where things aren't going to plan, where you haven't got the life that you really want, then look at yourself and learn. You know, the most expensive and most valuable real estate is the 6 inches between your ears, and you want to invest as much as you possibly can in that. So they're my 3 very important tips to bounce back to freedom as a result of this Cyrus the virus crisis.
And you're looking for people to interview between Bundaberg and Darwin?
And Darwin, yes, because we're off on the trip.
Yes.
Up until the 25th of October.
Yes.
Yes.
And what sort of people are you looking for?
Basically, anybody that is willing to share their experience as a result of Cyrus the virus. You may be in a job, you may have lost your business, or any situation where you've struggled, and where you might have some strategies that you could pass on to somebody else. You know, who knows? You could be a very important inspiration. Somebody out there is feeling down, and they hear that you have overcome this problem, or this is your strategy, what you're going to do to overcome the strategy, and you might inspire them. And if I can bring your message to them, I'll be a very happy man. So, you know, it's all about bringing good news to people. That's we've heard all the negative stuff. I want to turn the tables. I want to bring out the good news, and I really, really want to encourage you to realize that this is your opportunity to rewrite the future. And there's one very important reason for this, Aldwyn, and that's this. I hear so many people saying, I just want to go back to what my life was like beforehand. But then when they reflect on that, their life wasn't really all that good beforehand anyway. And what they really wanted was to change from where they were. But now they want to go back to what they didn't like. How crazy is that? So my suggestion is, look at it as your opportunity for a clean slate, and go and just imagine you had a magic wand and you could design the life that you really wanted, and then work towards that. And I did that many years ago. I had to go through a few dramas, and it was that realization that brought me to the fact that I needed to work on myself, and that's when my life changed. So, you know, there's lots of hope out here.
Very inspiring, Hans. I can't believe you're 66. You've come out of retirement after 11 years, self-funded retirement. So inspiring. You don't have to be doing this.
No.
So what was it that inspired you to actually do this?
Well, 2 things. You know, I was hearing from a lot of people that were my contemporaries when their next operation was, who their doctor was, and when they were going to visit them the next time, what drugs they're on, and all this sort of thing. And it was a downhill spiral. You know, they had one foot in the grave and the other one on a banana skin. And I decided, whoa, that's not me. I'm not ready for that game yet. I don't believe in taking drugs unless I absolutely need to. I prefer to look for the causes of what's causing my disease, and I look to treat that. So I wanted to reverse, and you know, like everybody else in this coronavirus, the Cyrus the virus situation, I wanted to make a change. I was in a situation, and it was time to make a change. I didn't want to focus on my aches and pains and things that were going to go wrong. So this is something for me to focus on, something for me to help people with, and you know, I can forget about my aches and pains.
And you've got 3 children and 5 grandchildren.
3 children, 5 grandchildren. Yes.
And I love what you said when you say that they listen, or they see more of what you do rather than listen to what you say. And here you are, you're an example, you're a physical example of someone who's inspiring, going out there and you're creating a whole new product out of tree is going to be coming up. So, you know, you're showing that it can be done from scratch. You can build a business from scratch. Anyone can do this, and also encouraging people to start online businesses, right?
Yes, very much so. And, you know, my granddaughter down on the Gold Coast, she often greets me and says, Opa, how's business? So You know, I've got the grandchildren in the mindset, and young Jimmy up there in Darwin, he wants to be an entrepreneur. So, you know, they see what's going on around them, and that's where they draw their inspiration from. And
Yes.
you know, other people are forever in front of the screens and things like that. I want to give people a bigger reason to look for opportunity and creating the life that they really want. Because, you know, being a lifestyle entrepreneur in this day and age is much, much easier. I was an internet pioneer back in 1989. And in those days, when you sent emails out to people, that was frowned upon unless you had their specific approval. Now nobody really cares. But, you know, now we've got all these wonderful tools, so go for it.
Yes, absolutely. Now, there's one certainty in life, and that is uncertainty.
Yes.
And, you know, COVID has certainly brought a lot of uncertainty to people, and in all the low periods in time, and you've been through some really hard times,
Sure.
there have been more millionaires created than ever before in times like this. So there's more opportunity now in other ways that you may not have seen before right now. And it's a matter of showing people some of those, or giving people some ideas to maybe pivot in business or do things differently. If you've lost your job, you know, now's a great opportunity to actually do what you love, because a lot of people in jobs don't do what they love. They're not enjoying their jobs. They're doing 9 to 5 that they don't enjoy. And that could have been you if you've lost your job. Now it's time to look at what is it that you really love and are passionate about. Yeah.
And if you think in recent times, we've had businesses such as Uber, we've had Airbnb, all these types of businesses that are very disruptive to the status quo, if you like. And there are many more opportunities to come that haven't been thought of. Now, Afterpay is another example. Previously, we used to do things by lay-by. Afterpay has turned that on its head and is doing it the other way. And Afterpay, I think their share price is up around $60 or $70 now. And it wasn't very long ago that they were $1 and something or other. So, you know, there are very many ideas out there that are still waiting to be discovered. And perhaps you are the one to put that idea into practice. And perhaps this crisis is what it takes to inspire you to go out there and follow your dream.
Absolutely. I love that, Hans. You are so inspiring. Absolutely love what you do. It is so cool. And if you're watching this right now, what have you just learned from this? And I'd love to see your comments pop in the chat there underneath. And a big thank you to all our media supporters. We've had Bundaberg now, Channel 7 just interviewed. Hans today will be on Channel 7 Wide Bay tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Check that out. Triple M, thank you so much, JB and Jules. And Coral Coast Radio as well so far, just kicking off some of the media that we've had, and there'll be a lot more to come. And it's fantastic. A lot of the media outlets love the positive story around this. They're so grateful to actually have some positive news to share. And that's the thing. What is your positive story? If you've been through any hardship, there will be a story there. And if the world doesn't know about it, perhaps it's time to stop being the world's best kept secret and actually step up with your message. So reach out if that's you. If it's time to step up, to shift the way you've been doing things. What other tips could you give for our viewers now, Hans, on how they can bounce back to freedom?
Okay. I just think the most important thing is to be open to look at new opportunities. Don't keep thinking about, I've always done it this way. You know, you said I'm 66, that's correct. And one of my struggles or challenges, I guess, is that I struggle with all the new technology. Because I've been retired, I was familiar with the technology that I used in my retirement. So I knew how to do some Facebooking and Instagramming and everything like that, but I didn't know how to do anything for business. And to be honest, I was actually very scared to get up in front of a camera about 4 weeks ago.
Right.
And I did a course. I decided, this was an example, I did a course. I needed to become more confident in front of the video cameras. Now, the reason I was a bit scared of that was because I had been retired for such a long time. Yes, I had done video before and I understood all of that, but I just didn't want to get out there and tell my story, to be honest. And it was that course that challenged me, and I did it. It was a 30-day challenge, and I've developed new confidence out of that. So that's why I'm actually talking to you now. And so if you've got a story to share, please don't be selfish and keep it to yourself, because somebody else could be inspired by your story and how you are dealing with the crisis. And, you know, it doesn't matter what type of business you're in. If you're in the travel business, for example, people are pivoting and they're offering their clients something else. And let's say you're in the hospitality industry and you're a cafe, for example. One of the biggest problems I see right now is that most cafe owners do not know who their customers are. They are relying on their customers coming in every day, but they have no direct communication with them. And this is an opportunity for you to build a database of your clients and tell them something exciting that's happening. Tell them of a special event. Maybe you're going to open up in the evening and you're going to have some special event. Maybe you are getting some organic food from some of your suppliers and you want to make that available to your customers. There's so many things. If you just think a little bit differently, and if you build that database, people will appreciate that. And you will have a bigger, stronger, and more profitable business as a result of this virus. And let me tell you that most people that I have spoken to over the years have said to me without a doubt that the time when they have grown the most or have moved forward the most is as a result of a crisis. It's never when it's been smooth sailing. It's always been when there's been a crisis. It could have been a personal crisis, could have been a financial crisis, could have been a business crisis, but something happened to rattle their cage and it changed and they changed. And that's the critical thing.
It's all about what you do with what happens, not about what happens. Right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
A lot of opportunities right now, and you know, it's your choice. Are you going to seize those opportunities and challenges, and are you going to do things differently, or are you going to, you know, go back to the way things might have been that might not have been that great anyway, or are you going to just sit around and hope that things improve one day? You know, like, what are you going to do? It's all about choice. So I think it's awesome that you are doing this, Hans. And if people want to be interviewed, what can they do?
The most important thing is to go to my website, www.bouncebacktofreedom.com. Register there. And while you're registering there, you'll also get access to all my free content. I'm giving it away for free. All of the content, the filming, how I'm building a business from scratch while I'm traveling, an online business. I'm going to give it all away for free. Don't need a credit card, okay? I'm not going to take your money. And the reason I'm doing that is because eventually I'm going to produce a product out of it. But at this stage, all I want to do is share the good news. And in order to do that, I've got to have a database to do that with. So if you go there, you've got the opportunity to access the free training. And also on the thank you page, you will receive an information there about how you can register for an interview. And I've just got a few short questions, so I know a little bit about you and your contact details, and then on the road, I'll call you and we'll have a chat and we'll go from there. Look, it's all going to be very relaxed. As you can see, I'm the lifestyle entrepreneur. I'm a very relaxed sort of guy. I don't take life too seriously, and I don't want you to either. And let's just have some fun and don't worry about the camera.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Be yourself, speak your truth, help share some good news, lift people's spirits around you, be the change you want to see in the world, as Gandhi said.
Yeah.
Bouncebacktofreedom.com is the website. Any final words, Hans?
Just go there to the website. Let's stay in touch, or let's get in touch, and let's share the good light. Let your light shine and share the good news. And let's just encourage each other, support each other, and lift each other up. That's the big thing, I think.
Wonderful. You know? Fantastic, Hans. You're a true inspiration. To you.
Thank you.
Journeys with your beautiful wife Colette of 41 years.
41 years,
and how to stay together for 41 years is a whole other story, a whole other video. Basically, happy wife, happy life. And Colette is certainly very happy. I met her. She's wonderful, gorgeous lady. So I think it's just wonderful to see the two of you go off and have some beautiful times together on the road again.
Yes.
On the road again.
Our favourite song, our theme song. Yes.
Bouncebacktofreedom.com. Check it out. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world. Remember to shine bright and light up all those around you. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.